C. This is an interview with Kareem Sadek, a librarian.
Welcome to the program. My guest today is Kareem Sadek. Thanks for talking to us today.
It's great to be here.
So, can you tell us a bit about what it's like to be a librarian in the 21st century?
Well, if you haven't visited a library in the past few years, you might have an image of libraries as book-filled, silent spaces with a staff of shy librarians who spend most of their time helping people check out books. However, the role of libraries and librarians has really evolved in recent years. Of course, there are still lots of books in libraries, but over half of our collection is digital these days. People are finding books for themselves using our computer system, and then they're checking them out for themselves. However, that doesn't mean we librarians have a lot of time on our hands.
Why is that?
Well, libraries and librarians have adapted to ensure that we remain relevant in the digital age by providing a wide range of services. Anything from offering technology training to seniors, to running literacy programs for children and immigrants, to supporting the homeless. That means it's essential that we're able to deal with a tremendous range of individuals and situations, as well as possessing strong interpersonal skills. Libraries are becoming community hubs, and it's crucial that we're approachable and able to respond to the needs of the diverse group of patrons that visit our facilities.
Interesting. Can you talk more about this community hub concept?
Of course. Basically, we want to be a gathering spot with a wide variety of useful services. And you'll find that we librarians almost never say shh anymore. We're a place for people to come and work or study, get employment training, develop financial literacy, or just socialize. The furniture is getting more comfortable. We have Wi-Fi, and people can use computers or print out documents. And that's just a tiny fraction of what we offer these days.
Okay. And what challenges are libraries facing now?
Well, right now, there's a huge issue with digital books. When we buy paper books, there's a legal principle called the first sale doctrine that allows us to lend out the book as many times as we want. However, it doesn't apply to digital content. So as a result, we buy what's called a metered license, and that means we don't actually own the data permanently. We're purchasing a limited right to access it, and that price is often higher than what we pay for a paper book. Plus, there are restrictions on how many times we can lend it out. So, for example, we might buy a best-selling novel, and we might get it for 2 years, or 52 lends, whichever comes first. This causes 2 problems. One is that we have to spend a large percentage of our budget on just a few best-selling titles that get loaned out over and over, whereas with paper books, we can buy a wider variety. And secondly, we often can't afford to keep renewing the licenses for older titles because of budgetary constraints.
It sounds like a very serious problem.
It certainly is. We're always trying to negotiate with publishing firms, and with the support of our local communities, we're hoping to convince them to change their policies.
Well, thank you for all of these fascinating insights into the modern library.
Thanks so much for having me on the program.
Questions. Number 5. What does Kareem say about librarians today? Number 6. What does Kareem say about digital content?
D. This is an interview with Carol Davis, who works as a nurse in Britain.
Hello, everyone. Today we welcome Carol Davis to our program. Carol is Dean of the School of Nursing at a large British university. Welcome to the program, Carol.
Thank you, Robert. It's my pleasure.
So tell me, Carol, what brings you to Japan?
Well, I'm here to give a lecture at a Japanese nursing college. And, because I'm among nurses with whom I have so much in common, even though I don't speak any Japanese, I feel totally at home.
What you are saying, I think, is that by being a nurse, you are part of a global community.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. So, what stimulated you to take up nursing initially?
I think mainly my personal circumstances. You see, my mother died of cancer, and even after the doctors had given up on her, it was the nurses who continued to give her their total commitment, right up to the end, and it was then that I decided that's what I want to do with my life.
I can understand that as a motivation. So, looking back over your career, how would you sum up the main plus points of nursing?
Well, the biggest thing is that you can feel you're contributing to society. Your work helps others. It's really rewarding when patients smile at us and say thank you as they leave the hospital. Our work can be really tough sometimes, but those smiles and words of appreciation make me forget the difficulties. That's why I can continue doing this job despite all the hardships. And also, opportunities to travel to advanced and developing countries, the knowledge that your skills will always be needed, a wide range of specialties within nursing, and, as I mentioned earlier, the feeling of comradeship with other nurses everywhere.
How about the problems you find in your job?
I think the main thing here is that nursing can be very demanding, physically and emotionally. Maybe there's some friction among the staff. You have to deal with a succession of difficult patients, have to work extra time because of staff shortages. There are times when you feel everything is getting on top of you. But even in that sort of situation, you remember that you hold people's lives in your hands, and you discover within yourself resources that you didn't know you had.
So, Carol, what advice would you give to young people wanting to take up nursing?
It's difficult to give a short answer, but to all young women and nowadays to an increasing extent young men who want to be nurses, I could give some advice. Firstly, of course, get a degree in nursing from a good nursing college or university. Get a thorough grasp of all the technical knowledge you need, but never forget that the foundation of nursing is human caring. Make sure that you keep yourself fit. And finally, read as widely as you can and develop a positive outlook on life. I believe an optimistic attitude helps you not just in the job of nursing, but also in every aspect of your life.
That's very good advice. Well, thank you, Carol, for joining us.
Thank you, Robert. It has been my pleasure.
Questions. Number 7. What stimulated Carol to take up nursing as a career? Number 8. How does Carol think nurses react in very tiring situations?